Hey everybody, Frank here, Godzilla Island with another comic book review, this time of Kamen Rider Zero-One. I'm finally getting a review of this. This was put out a few months back from Titan Comics and Stonebot Manga. The series has since concluded, and there is a trade paperback coming out in a few months, I believe. I'll share that info down below. So far, I'm really enjoying the series. Issue 1, great issue. All the issues are filled with incredible art. I really enjoy the art so far. I have not personally myself seen the Kamen Rider Zero-One show. I have the Blu-ray. I just have not started watching it just yet. I was watching Kamen Rider Black. I watched Kamen Rider Amazons. But let's get into the review of this issue here, issue 1. It is written by Bryan Easton, and artist is Hendry Prasetya. Colorist Bryan Valenza. Letter and world designs James. And original story is by Shotaro Ichinomori. And story supervisor is Takahito Omori. And we also have editor is Callum Collins, and story and original characters by David Clark. And Stonebot Comics, Exciting Creations here. We get a little, at the beginning of each issue, we get a little introduction to the characters here. We have Arudo Hidden, who is our Kamen Rider Zero-One. We have Isamaru Fuwa, who is the Vulcan Kamen Rider. Yaba, sorry, I had to struggle with that one, who is the Valkyrie Kamen Rider. And then we have Izu, who is Aruda's like assistant. And then Ragnarok, who has served as our main villain so far for the series. Now, Aruda was a comedian, a failed comedian, who inherited his grandfather's tech company and also inherited the Kamen Rider Zero-One mantle. And we get a little introduction here of Aruda fighting what they called Magi, and they also had developed Huma Gears, or the other thing, which were like sort of like cyborgish android creatures that were meant to help humans, but there are rogue ones out there. So let's move on. So it starts off with Arudo is kind of getting interviewed and pressed by the other two riders, the Vulcan and Valkyrie rider, that was Isamu and Yua. They are police officers, kind of. And they're like, listen, you gotta stop causing like collateral damage and everything. They're like, you gotta learn to be a better rider. You don't deserve to be a rider just because you inherited it from your grandfather. You gotta be better. And he's kind of like he gets in a couple of instances where he blurts out jokes because he was a comedian. And he throws out, have you heard about the restaurant on the moon? Great food, no atmosphere, like, and all the jokes just always flop in the book. But take a look at this art here. I mean, the colors are great, shading, really good looking art. So let's move on. Let me just kind of get a little more of Arudo. Just walking through the city. He's like, do you really think I'm that bad? He's talking to Izu. Izu's always by his side in the story. And she's a Huma Gear, so she's part like robot, cyborgish. And they're in this park, and then boom, there's like this boom tube here that opens a fire, and he sees there's a rider in it. So he gets blown back, so he transforms, and this rider comes out of the tube and like slowly like takes form. He's like a really dark figure. They're talking. and he's what they assume a rogue human gear, and he reveals himself as Ragnarok, and that he wants to eliminate all the riders, and he wants to start with him, with Aruda Zero-One. And these riders, specifically Aruda, use a satellite called Zaya, and they call down what they call progress keys, and each of these keys gives him a different ability. So he tries to fight Ragnarok, and it does not go well. So Izu pulls out her little progress key case and gives him a shark progress key. Gives him a little advantage. He like guts Ragnarok here, and Ragnarok quickly recovers. So she tries tossing another key. Try the cooling key. So now he does the freezing bear key. Freezes Ragnarok. He thinks he's defeated him. Kind of like turns his back. Has a little chat with Izu, and we get a little look here at the grandfather back in the day helping save him and everything. And Ragnarok breaks back out of the ice, and now he's got like all these tentacles. He picks up Arudo and begins kind of just stealing his powers, and we learn that is Ragnarok's like special abilities. He's able to steal all the riders' powers, and now he has taken on his main form that we see throughout the book. I don't want to call it the final form because it's definitely not his final form, and he kind of matches Arudo's Kamen Rider Zero-One form. You see he's got the same sort of V here, the crystal in the head, similar armor plates, and Izu tries to toss him another progress key, but Ragnarok steals that one and charges himself up and knocks Arudo back. And we keep seeing this guy here throughout the series. I'm not sure who this is, but he seems to be kind of overwatching everything going on. And it looks like Arudo is out for the count for this issue. Really cool story. Like I said, I am not too familiar with Kamen Rider Zero-One myself. I've only watched a couple of series, but they went all out for this first issue. I mean, look at all the variant covers they did for this one. Really gorgeous covers. This cover right here, the cover B, I believe, is the cover that they are going to be using for the trade paperback that's coming out soon. This is a 4-issue run. I've read the first 3 issues. I think at this point in the game, now that they're all out, it's probably worth waiting out to pick up the trade paperback. So just have them all and binge read it in one shot. Really enjoyed it. Let me know what cover you like out of these and what you think about the Kamen Rider Zero-One comic series. And if you've watched the show before, how does this tie in? I think this is supposed to be a sequel. I'm not 100% sure on that. Let me know. I'm a Kamen Rider noob here. Both of us on the channel are. So let me know what you think of this series and if you enjoyed it.